Okay, I'm ready to go.
Good everyone, welcome back. Episode 3, 20 Years and Counting podcast. Me and Max, who we're going to get to it, has not missed a pick all year in 2 weeks of episodes. No big deal or anything. So if you're gambling with us at home, maybe take Max's picks in the weekly parlay because you would be up $70 on $10 worth of betting or have $80 in your pocket. I already blew
If I
through
put
mine.
money down on it, if I bet on my own picks, I would
Yeah.
be up 70. I don't bet though. I haven't bet in.
That's right.
I
Anyway.
haven't bet since the Deuce on Bears. Is all I'm
Yeah,
gonna say.
well, there's no Korean baseball on right now, folks, so Max will not be betting. I still do out of integrity. Bet didn't go well this week. We're gonna talk about some of those games because I've been able to see some highlights and watched a couple games this year. But this week I really got to see, especially on that Thursday, 4 of the games on the slate and got a little more analysis other than win loss. But that being said, let's hop in to the recap from this Thursday and Saturday. Starting on Thursday, Idaho State beats Idaho for the 10th time in a row in Pocatello. That was a stat I needed when I was making my picks this week. 76 to 68. Jamison Guerra is how I think they were saying it on the broadcast in Pokey.
Yeah.
Guerra, 21 points. Also great defense on Colton Mitchell. Rivalry win. Weber State handles Eastern Washington 91 to 80. Sane Jr., my kind of guy, undersized guard, 23 points. Portland State, a thriller, maybe game of the week. You start to look at it.
Mhm.
76 to 73, 19 points of Jalen Henderson, the inevitable, and finally a battle of unbeatens, and it's Sacramento State. Coach Mike Bibby gets his first career victory at Sac State. Prophet Johnson, 23 points. No Mikey Williams in that game. Saturday, no Zach Davidson either, by the way.
No.
Saturday, moving on. Cat Grizz 3.0. The Cats win
Yeah.
again. Get used to
Yeah.
this, folks. We've the Cats just keep winning. They had the parade in the morning for the football team. The women's game was like a 40-point game. And then in the evening, a nightcap. 76 to 67. Davian Brown, 24 points. Name to remember. Portland
Mhm.
State still undefeated, 63 to 52. Keon Kenzie Jr. Not whether we've talked about a lot of Portland State guys. This is a new one, 20 points in a win over NAU. Still haven't played that many good teams, Portland State, but they're still undefeated. Eastern, another Saturday dub. They're dangerous on a Saturday, 84 to 66. Isaiah Moses, 22 points. That's over Weber, right?
Yeah.
Alaskan Assassin. Idaho bounced back win after that rivalry loss. No, they beat Weber. Sorry. Back it up.
Or
Not
yeah.
so fast. Not so fast. Not
So,
so fast. Eastern beat Weber. Idaho. Oh, sorry.
no.
I got it. Sorry. This is on me,
You.
folks. What am I doing? Idaho beats Weber.
Yes.
Idaho beats Weber. Um, and to bounce back, Eastern beat Idaho State after that big rivalry victory. So look out for
Yes.
Eastern on a Saturday. Idaho bounces back. They beat Weber. Pico Johnson, 26 points. That's an 8-point win. And finally,
Mhm.
Sacramento State, the laughing stock of the Big Sky, beat Northern Colorado. The team coming in a non-con, number one in Ken Palm, 93-89. And guess who? Prophet Johnston. Remember the name? Goes for 30 points. So that leaves Portland State 5-0, MSU 4-1, Weber 4-2. Ken Palm, that Portland State 154. They actually dropped in Ken Palm. Montana State up to 157. Northern Colorado somehow is still 170 in Ken Palm. They like their non-con. They're not winning in con though. And finally, NAU is 310. The Lumberjacks, not good. So Max, a lot of takeaways from this week. A lot of stuff. Portland State, the only team to go 2-0. MSU with 1-0. What do you
Mhm.
have for me? What are you thinking?
Um, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start with Weber State. I think the Weber State agenda is still alive for me. I was
Still
going
alive.
in big. It's still alive. I don't really care about the Idaho again. Like we've said before, Idaho is one of those teams that's gonna. We'll get into a point that you have later on, but it's one of those teams that's gonna take wins off you. Weber State is, no joke. Tijon's saying it's actually one of the things I really like about the Big Sky and a lot of mid major is you can have guys who are 5'10" who are engines for your team and can make you a top 3 team in the league. So I like saying a lot. I like the team. It finally kind of feels like the Weber State is back into the rhythm of what they used to be. They have some fun guys. They have a fun team to watch. They can't lose dumb games. I don't think losing to Idaho is a dumb game by any means. I think that's a tough loss. You're going to lose games like that, but if you only lose good games, if you only lose games like that, like you're going to be unbelievably tough to beat, especially um, once the conference tournament rolls around. So Weber State agenda is still alive and well. And I'm going to stand on that, even though, and Idaho, I do want to shout them out because that was a great win for them. Like I was saying last week, Bigo Johnson and Colton Mitchell, those two guys, when they're on, it is tough to beat that team. And Bigo Johnson made it tough for Weber State to get a win there. So I got to shout them out. But Weber State's still alive and well.
Yeah, and saying even in that loss they had to Idaho, he shoots 4 for 14, not great. 15 free throws, makes 15
Yeah.
for 17 free throws. Still puts 25 on their head, 6 assists. Pretty good stuff there. You're right. I think Weber State is. I didn't get to watch as much of their game on Thursday because I was watching that Idaho State game. The Portland State game was great. And they kind of handled Eastern, and they did, like you said, they played some good ball. All right, first thing I wanted to say, there's a pretty big elephant in the room in Sacramento. They get the headlines. They got Shaquille O'Neal's son playing for him, Mike Bibby. Was he an all-star? He was an NBA player.
Mike Bibby was an all-star
And Mike
with
Bibby
the
was an
Kings.
all-star, and
For sure.
they bring in a guy who is, I think, at one point the number one overall recruit in his class in the nation, Mikey Williams. And they're god awful. They can't win a game. They can't win a Big Sky game. They had one Division One win. Mikey Williams gets hurt, and they win both games. Now, a lot of things could be one. NAU seems really bad right now, especially without, you know, with their leading scorer coming in to conference play.
Mhm.
And something about the way Prophet Johnson plays, too. I don't know. I don't know what to deal with. Mikey Williams is a very ball dominant guard, and I think maybe him going out helped Johnson really thrive, and that's a big win over Northern Colorado. And Max, we were making jokes about Sac State. You said Sac State fans are going to hate us because they don't fill the gym. I was actually watching that game against NAU. They actually had a good turnout, and I think they play at a different gym now. It looked a little bigger than the one that
Good.
you always talk. They always like show like this is Sac State's gym. It's worse than a high school gym. I think they play somewhere else now because it's bigger, or they expanded it because they're playing a big gym. There was a big turnout, and Prophet Johnson is a bucket getter. So yeah, the elephant in the room is Sac State. Maybe a little feisty, competitive team all of a sudden. More importantly, what's this injury with Mikey Williams? He's missed 2 games, and how much of a rush are they to get him back? You know.
I'm I
It
yeah,
looks bad for Mikey, but I think more Prophet Johnson is able to take over, and maybe if he becomes the number 2 guy, that'll help him out.
I would agree. I think it's I don't know if especially if Johnson plays this well, there isn't a rush to get him back. I think you activate what you can with Johnson. You take your time with Mikey Williams. You win a couple games. You maybe look a little underrated. Then Mikey comes back. You just have to hope they can coexist on the court together, which is something like you're always worried about. I mean, Prophet Johnson, he looks great, but if like this is like what he's peaking at and you're removing Mikey Williams from the picture, like can they both be, you know, this effective together? And I'm a little worried about that. As you mentioned, like Mikey Williams, like, yeah, like that's what he scores. He just scores the ball. And like that's in theory what he will continue to do, regardless of whether Prophet Johnson is in the picture for him or not. So you just have to hope that team is able to build to adjust to that once Mikey comes back. Because I'd love to see Mikey and Prophet be like this 1-2, like any given night kind of thing. That'd be great for them. But it's just I'm a little worried about that. I'm a little worried about that consistency. But I mean, Prophet, man, like he was awesome. That was just unbelievable stuff. And yes, obviously, yeah, NAU is probably the new laughing stock of
Yeah, they're not
the
good.
league, which really sucks. I mean, after that Northern Colorado win for Sac State, NAU has to be probably the low, which sucks for them because obviously Zach Davidson being out just like kills any momentum they would have had going into the league play. He's just been so good for them, but yeah, I think Sac State has a really good problem, which is you have two guys who clearly can get a bucket. Can they coexist together? That's the big question when Mikey Williams comes back.
Yeah, and looking at Prophet Johnson's game logs, by the way, another fun story. I played at Fairfield and Southern Utah before he ended up where he is. He was getting shots up. It wasn't like he was their number two guy with Mikey Williams and sometimes number one. Like he had over 10 shots a game, dating all the way back to when they beat Pacific. He only took 8 shots in a game back in November. So he
Mhm.
it wasn't anything crazy. He just actually really wasn't shooting the ball very well in a lot of those
Yeah.
games until this week he was lights out. Okay,
Mhm.
what do you have next for us? It's another takeaway.
Um, I'll do my other team one. Portland State can't lose. They can't even lose when they want to
Yeah.
lose. That was the big thing for me. That Northern Colorado game. I mean, you can obviously like look at the box score and see Norco was like leading going into the second half, but the thing is like Portland State is just so much more dynamic even now that we've like obviously Northern Colorado clearly not as good in conference as we thought they were going to be, but like they just it just seems like it's tough for them to lose games that maybe they're not necessarily playing super well at. It's not like I don't know. It's not like Jalen Henderson wasn't playing well or Minot wasn't playing super well. Like these guys weren't even playing bad in this game against Northern Colorado. It's just a game where it really felt like Northern Colorado kind of had a bit more momentum. I think Denker kind of quieted a little bit. And again, that question of when Denker's, not scoring 20, who's going to be able to step up. And I don't necessarily think anybody was really a super big difference maker um, sort of down the stretch. But I just find it hard to believe that Portland State is going to lose any games at home this year. They're going to really struggle. It's going to be really tough to beat them at home. And then two, when they do play games on the road, like you're going to have to play some of the best. You're going to have to play the best basketball you've played to beat them. Like they are they're a team of skill most importantly, but feels like they kind of have this like swagger and luck that is really important. It's something that actually last year, this is one of my favorite the Ken Palm stat, the Ken Palm stat luck. The University of Montana last year was the number one Division One team um, going into the NCAA tournament. They had the number one luck stat, and I always think about like if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. And I think Portland State is good enough, and same with Montana last year. They were good enough to make the tournament, but they also needed luck. They needed some extra things to help them. And frankly, I think Portland State is one of those teams where like that's how you win. Is you have it's like 80% skill, 85% skill, and then 15% of like you just win tough games, and it doesn't really matter how you get that. You just kind of find your way into that position and think Portland State's going to have a lot of those games, which it's not a bad thing. That's how you make the NCAA tournament. That's how Montana did it. That's how a lot of these mid-major teams do it. They have good luck stats. It's not like the most definitive Ken Palm thing ever, but I like it because you see a lot of these teams who find their way into the tournament picture. And I don't know where Portland State is at on that luck stat, but my prediction is they're going to be high up there towards the end of towards the end of the season, end of tournament season, I would say, and then going into March Madness. That's my prediction is they're going to have a high luck stat, whether or not they make it out of the tournament or not.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the. I'm looking at your luck stat here. I am trying to figure out who the first Big Sky team is. I think it's Idaho is the number one luckiest team in the Big Sky right now, but a lot to play. The thing that jumped out at me getting to see Portland State play is they're huge, like size wise. Henderson's a
Mhm.
bit of an undersized guard, but
Yeah.
Minot's a big dude. He's like
Mhm.
6'11", 6'10" on the roster,
Mhm.
245. He's huge. And then Terry Miller Jr.'s 6'8", but like he's 6'8", 250, so like NFL lineman 6'8". Like he's another
Yeah.
big dude. Like those guys, the size of them alone, I'm excited to see them match up because Northern Colorado's got some good height. Like Wisney, kind of gave Montana issues last year in the tournament with his 6'9" height, and he kind of got dwarfed out there by those
Yeah.
Portland State guys. And Kenzie Jr., he's the one who dropped 20. He's also 6'8", but he's more of a forward. They got a lot of
Yeah.
height to deal with, and I'm excited for some of these Portland State games coming up when they play. With all due respect, yeah, their 4 wins are against the 4 worst teams in the conference, I think. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how they match up. But their height could be a real problem. And like you were saying, like even they got that luck factor. Terry Miller Jr. turned the ball over 11 times against Northern
Yes.
Colorado, and they won.
I was gonna bring that up. Yeah.
That's
That's
ridiculous. That 11 individual turnovers is
mhm.
ridiculous. Like if I picked Portland State to win this week, but if I didn't pick them, I would have maybe opened up one of those point shaving investigations that they were doing because that's ridiculous.
I wanted to see I need to look at their team total for turnovers too
It
because I
wasn't that
actually think
high compared to 11
I was gonna say
individual.
like I was gonna say like 17 is not like that was
It's more than
six
half their
turnovers.
turnovers. That's not good.
Yeah, it was and but to be fair, like obviously they had 3 more turnovers than Northern Colorado did, but still Northern Colorado turned the ball over for like 14 times as well as a team. So like when the margin for error was that like thin, then it becomes a point of like him turning it over 11 times ended up not being as big of a factor. I guess I don't know points um how many points turned points off turnovers. Here we go. Yeah, Northern Colorado had 26 points off turnovers. And see, that's the thing is they had 26 points off turnovers and they still lost by 3. Like that's an insane number. It's Portland State only had 11 points off turnovers. So even though they had the huge they had the turnover margin was not that huge between the two teams. Portland State didn't even capitalize on like most of those opportunities. Northern
Yeah.
Colorado basically capitalized on every time Terry Miller turned the ball over. So that's an even crazier thing is that they still couldn't pull it out, even when they had like a quarter of their points off of Terry Miller drops.
Yeah, Northern Colorado also hit a lot more threes, but they had a couple guys in foul trouble as well. Both teams kind of did.
Yeah,
Henderson was in a bit of foul. He had 4 fouls as well. So
yeah,
kind of physical Big Sky game, and that brings me to my next point. Nothing too crazy, and maybe just because some of my picks went wrong, but we've kind of entered, especially as you creep towards that Saturday game, any given night territory in the Big Sky Conference, as they say. We're seeing some real parity. I think the bottom, like Northern Arizona, has been pretty bad. But they could still pull out some wins. Like Eastern, a team who looked pretty bad. They were two and 14 overall, or like 2-12 overall.
mm-hmm.
Uh, but now they're 4-14. They've got 2 wins in Big Sky play. Obviously, Idaho State knocked off their rivals. Montana is dangerous. Idaho can win a game. Northern Colorado is 1-5. They've really, really underperformed, but I still wouldn't want to play them. They still have a lot of talent, and Sac State just went and won 2 conference games. Like there's a lot of really talented Big Sky Conference teams right now, and at any given night. So I think the conference is getting fun, and we're gonna get into bracketology, but it's creeping towards if Portland State can start losing a couple games, we can maybe reclaim our hold on the first 4-16 seed win in Dayton, which we won. All right, what's your last point? Has to do with an Alaskan assassin.
Yeah, the Alaskan. I have to bring up Isaiah Moses. You just mentioned Eastern's been a fun team. That the number one reason why this team has been so awesome is Isaiah Moses. I would need to look back at his stats. I don't think there is a conference game he's played that he hasn't scored at least 20. Like he's been very consistent. And I was talking about even guys like I mentioned Guerra last pod. Like he's been very consistent, and he had an abysmal Saturday. Like he did not score at all.
No,
Um,
he played bad.
but Isaiah Moses, even when he's even when he puts up a lot of shots and isn't super like efficient, he still scores. He is still their guy, and they still trust him. And I think that says a lot about him kind of commanding this Eastern Washington team. And they're a team that I think could easily be right at 500, just over 500, if they keep taking, wins here and there. Like that's a team I'd be if Isaiah Moses is playing really well, he's playing even decently efficiently. I'd be really scared to play them on the road, honestly. Like that's a tough team to take a win away from when they're at home. So I like Isaiah Moses. We've talked about him quite a bit, but he
Yeah,
really showed up.
he's listed at 6 foot, which that means he's not 6 foot. My kind of guy right there.
Yeah.
I probably see a little myself in him the way he plays basketball.
God.
Yeah, you're right. He's went 22, 20, 20, 24, and then their conference opener he scored 15 points, which is pretty good
Okay.
because he had some tough games in between there non-con. But dating back,
Mhm.
like he transferred from UC Riverside and he set the tone. He scored 30 points in an overtime loss to Colorado. So he's a talented guy. It's fun to see him in. He is a senior too, which is unfortunate. But yeah, Isaiah Moses is fun, and he's one of those guys who's like, you never know who can step up and become your guy on any of these teams, and he'll be a fun watch. Um, my final point is talk about another fun guy, Davian Brown,
Mhm.
uh, a guy who originally from California. You ready for his career path?
Yeah. Yeah.
2020. NAI the Masters University. As a true freshman, he played in 26 games. 2021, as a sophomore, played in 30 games at the Masters NAIA. He says, I want to go out west. Goes to Lewis Clark State, the one in Idaho.
Yep.
Junior, started all 28 games. He says, hey, we're going for a senior year at Lewis Clark State. Starts in all 33 games. He says, you know what? This has been fun. I want to go to Biola. Do you have any idea where that is?
I. I.
It's Division
Are they
Two.
also? Are they also West Coast?
I think they're West Coast. This
Okay,
is
that's all I got.
it starts in all 30 games. His fifth year in college basketball. He says, matter of fact, I'm gonna do it a sixth year. So we need to get the exact number, but I think Davian Brown has played in a near record amount of college basketball games. If there's a number out there, because he's in his sixth year and he's played like pretty much every game in all of them. But it's his first year in D1, so great story. He
Mhm.
stepped up to the plate, kind of made himself known in that big rivalry game in the Brick for the Cats.
Mhm.
And his older brother is actually Darius Brown, who was on the Cats when they made it to March Madness a couple years ago, and transferred to Utah State with Danny Sprinkle. So, pretty cool story from him. I just wanted to highlight that he's got another one of those guys who's got a crazy journey and has now finally made that. I love guys who wait, and then finally get to make that jump into the Division One level. So I enjoyed his journey. We could say that. I'll have to get a total games he's played in, but when we get to the conference tournament time, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, he's a cool story. This whole MSU team's got some pretty neat
Mm-hmm.
stories. Like a lot of players that you really can root for, and yeah, Davian Brown. Yeah, shout out to him.
Yeah, he's
Deserves
had
all
some
the love.
good games and bad games too. He's kind of an on or off guy. He's kind of a lightning rod, as they say. But when he's on, he
Mhm.
drops 24 on the arch rival.
Yeah,
Second season high against D1. He did score 26 against the Northwest Indian College when they won 114 to 44. So,
I watched a record-breaking game in Dahlberg Arena when they played the Grizzlies.
what was the record
They
that got broken?
uh, Cam Parker for the Grizzlies broke the single game assist record. I think he had 21 or 22 assists in the game.
Oh,
Like it was insane. It was insane. Like it just like a stat you could only break against a team like that,
yeah.
basically. And I love Cam. He was a former classmate of ours, but
Yeah,
he
nice guy.
yeah, he was just like not a super like he was, maybe like the seventh or eighth guy off the bench most nights. Like he was like he played like he would sometimes be like their sixth man, but there are a lot of times where he was not necessarily like the guaranteed six, especially late in the season. He didn't play as much as I thought he would. But I just remember that game so vividly. I was like, this is just such like a crazy record to break, and it was like the highlight of like his Montana career, and then kind of didn't really get a lot of other big opportunities. Honestly, stopped starting as much as he did. So, um, yeah, sorry, Cam, but we were rooting for you. I was rooting for you.
He transferred to Portland State. He did. He was an in-conference guy.
He played better at Portland State than he did in Montana. He had I'd like to think, yeah.
Yeah.
So good for him.
Okay. Do you have any more points about the Thursday and Saturday games?
No, no,
Okay.
I think I've made. I guess. Well, yeah, no Saturday games. Only thing is, again, Montana. When Money Williams isn't scoring at least 20 a game, you guys have to figure it out. I
Yeah.
don't know what there
He
is.
needs some. That brother needs some help, man.
We, I, Jack and I are going to be going to a game very soon, and we're going to
Yeah.
see whether or not that formula continues or not. But it looks like every time Money Williams scores under 20 points, the Grizzlies lose. So,
Yeah. He had
um,
17, but had 4 fouls. And then
yeah,
he couple guys put some points in, but I had some guys who really didn't bail him out as much, which is tough, you know.
yeah,
Okay, moving on. Bracketology. Portland State is firmly now the bracketology team out of
yeah.
the conference right now. ESPN Joe Lenardi has number 14 Portland State. They were 15 last week
Be
versus
good.
number 3 Houston and Oklahoma City. The number 7 Ken Palm and the number 7 ranked team.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound fun.
No.
Bracketologist, the NET only bracket, net ranking only, has a number 15 Portland State team versus number 2 Nebraska, the number 6 Ken Palm team. So I am just gonna go and say I wouldn't want either of those, but Houston and Oklahoma City seems like a good way to get like butchered, and there's like a 360 dunk on Sports Center that night. So I don't know. And Nebraska isn't like historically bad NCAA tournament team, so I'd want them, right?
Uh, yeah. Here's the thing. I There's always a Big Ten or SEC two seed. They love to lose
Yeah,
to
and
the
Nebraska's perfect for that.
Nebraska. Feels like I don't. When I saw that, when you put that on the doc, I was like, oh my god, this is like the dream.
Yeah.
Like Big Ten, like, oh, the Big Ten puts 9 teams in the tournament, and then Nebraska immediately out. Like this feels
They're
like
like
the
because they're
perfect.
like undefeated this year. They made it a top 10 in the country because they have like a they haven't won a tournament game in like years and years and years, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they've been a pretty. There for years they were like fairly brutal. But obviously the Big Ten is such a like tough basketball conference to play in. I mean, I don't pay a ton of attention to it, but like when you have schools like Penn State who are like you'd think would be amazing, and they struggle every year in their conference, like a school like Nebraska, like they've got volleyball, they've got football. When basketball rolls
Oh,
around, like
sorry to interrupt. Nebraska is the only power conference team who's never won a March Madness game.
so it's like
That's perfect.
perfect.
That's perfect.
Portland
That's perfect.
State, it's like that actually seems like the perfect
That's what we
scenario.
want.
Portland
That's
State,
better than our first four scenario, actually.
if okay, so this is everybody who's watching this,
Nebraska
listening to
is
this,
the
like
surprise team in
bookmark
men's
this.
college
Like
basketball. The
Portland
Cornhuskers are a
State,
school
number
record.
15 Portland State versus number 2 Nebraska is like the dream 215 matchup right now for us, because historically Nebraska can't cut it, and Portland State, they look legit. If they keep this up, I mean, why couldn't they pull off a crazy victory?
Okay.
So I like that. I like that. Houston will kill him. I
We
will say.
don't want
I'll
Houston. I don't want Houston.
lightly touch on that. Houston, if they get Houston, I don't care if Houston's the. I don't care if Houston's like, the 6, 7, 8 seed. They're freaking gonna. Houston would kill them. That team is unbelievable. Calvin Sampson, shout out Montana Tech. Calvin Sampson, that guy knows how to coach a team. Like that team, he could coach the 16 seed to the least around a 32. Or like
Yeah,
he's
he gets them to play defense, you know.
yeah. So yeah, no. Portland State does not want Houston. Whatever seed they get, they do not want that. They want Nebraska in the first round.
Okay. I want to do a quick little. I started to be like, let's name our return guy of the year, a returning player, because they always say newcomer of the year, but I think we should
Oh
highlight returning player of the year more. So
yeah.
I was like, let's just name our guy. But I'm like, actually, you could just make a starting five. And honestly, it's not like crazy hard. So I just want to honestly list out a few returners of the
Mm,
year so far, and a lot of these guys might also be the MVP. We might pick that. We picked that already, but we might pick that again soon as we start to hit halfway through conference.
yeah.
But here's a couple guys. Maybe you tell me your five out of them. But Money Williams from UM came back for a third year. Terry Miller Jr. from Portland State is his second year. Jalen Henderson is his second year at Portland State. Denker, Northern Colorado, came back again, and he's had a big jump. Minot, Portland State, third year there. Pat McMahon is back at MSU. Colton Mitchell, only a sophomore, but he came back to Idaho. And Brock Wisney probably could have transferred, but he came back to Northern Colorado. Those are the couple guys at the top of my head. They're a couple like point leading scorers and statistical leaders. So,
Mm,
um, and those are all a lot of the best players in the league. So, who's your starting five of returners in the Big Sky Conference?
yeah. It's I mean, definitely Money Williams is on there. Jalen Henderson's on there. I guess this is not going to be the most like cohesive lineup ever, but if I'm picking the top my five guys, to be fair, you can kind of not pick cohesively if we're going off of Big Sky is not necessarily the biggest league in the world, so you probably have a lot of smaller lineups anyways. But Money Williams and Jalen Henderson are on there for sure. Jalen Henderson,
Yep.
um, like he expect him to probably be the mid-season MVP, mid conference season MVP pick again. Um, but Money Williams is still great. Jalen's good. I definitely think Minot is gonna be the big on that team. Like he has been unbelievable. Um, I mean, I think I'd probably just do Danker and Mitchell as well on that team.
Okay. You
Mitchell's
don't
great.
want turnover Terry.
I like Terry Miller a lot, but I don't want to. I'm a little worried about the 11 turnovers. Has got me a little. And
Turnover Terry.
Terry, you've been awesome, man. But that was a ton. 11 with 26 points off of turnovers that were mostly you was a little brutal. But no, I'll stick with only two Portland State guys. But yeah, I'll definitely shout out Denker and Mitchell. I think Mitchell is definitely like this second season for Idaho. This returning season for Idaho has been really awesome for him, and Danker has been very clearly Northern Colorado's guy, and I don't even think it's really that close. Like another guy who when he's playing a lot like Isaiah Moses, um,
Okay,
Guerra, like
Isaiah Moses isn't a returner though, so hold
or
your
he's not a return. Much like number one, like like some of these teams like Guerra and Moses, like those are clearly number one guys for those teams. I think Denker is pretty clearly Northern Colorado's number one guy. But that's my starting five. Um,
Yeah, I
at
think
least.
I'll probably go with the similar one, but I was just kind of listening out, but maybe who the number one would be. But honestly, quite a few pretty good returners in the league. If you look at the leading scorers, Money and
Mm,
Jalen are both back. Mikey Williams is kind of the first one in terms of scoring who isn't from the conference. So yeah, just want
mm,
to highlight a couple of returners. It's always fun to have guys come back. And I think
mm,
maybe next week or so we'll look at some guys who've transferred in conference in the last couple of
mm,
years and how that has worked for them. We can maybe give them grades. I'll give a couple of you guys. Because I know
mm.
Zach Davidson's one of those. Quinn Danker is one of those. Colton Mitchell's one of those.
Mhm.
from Idaho to Idaho. Okay, moving on. Player of the week. We both chose the same guy. Um, if the Big Sky does, we got it wrong last week. They gave it to Terry Mitchell, right? Or Trayvon Minott,
Or,
even though he only
or,
played one game.
yeah, sorry, yes, yeah, Minot, yes,
He
they
played
did.
one game, but he had that 2020, which is hard to beat.
Yeah,
But we both went with Prophet Johnson though this week.
yeah,
Sac State legend.
I feel like I was probably I don't see why they wouldn't. This one would shock me if they pick somebody else because you have the objectively the worst team in the conference get um I mean a win over NAU whatever, but a quality win I think over Northern Colorado. I still think wins over Northern Colorado are quality wins at this point. Um and he scores and he is like the driver. Um yeah, I have to
I'll
pick
give you
him.
a scenario and why it's going to be different.
I will say I will say I obviously we already mentioned Isaiah Moses, but if Weber won both their games and Sane was maybe a little bit more efficient, like I like Tijon Sane a lot, and he was probably my him and Moses were probably my two like on the edge guys. It's just tough when you don't win. It's hard to win. Oh yeah, I guess that's fair.
I think I'm going to change my pick, but
Okay,
you're right.
okay. I think it's hard. Um, it's hard to win Player of the Week when your team doesn't win both games, but also like you mentioned earlier, like it's kind of any team can win. At this point, like you're gonna have a lot of split weeks, but when you win the Thursday Friday slate, like or sorry Thursday Saturday slate, like and you are the guy, like you should probably win it. In my opinion, it's just like it's really hard to win two games, even if they're regardless of if they're home or away. It's hard to win two games in the same week, and when you're the guy who helps do it, especially with basically two 30-point games, like that should award you Player of the Week. Even though I
Okay.
know what you're gonna do next, but
Well,
I still
let me lay it out. Couple things here. One, we're going to get to pick 'em, but you're now ahead of me in pick 'em.
yeah.
So I need some points back because neither of us has picked Player of the Week right so far.
Yeah.
Sac State is leaving the Big Sky Conference. I don't know who actually decides who's Player of the Week, but I'm just going to say Sac State is leaving the conference when they go. Great, Prophet Johnson. How about those two little 30-point games are cute. Montana State just brought us a football natty and a lot of revenue money. Let's give it to Davian Brown. I don't care that he only played one game. He didn't even score 25. Don't care. We got some darlings, and they're not Sac State. They're leaving the conference. They don't get any Player of the Week awards. So
This is gonna the Montana State bias is gonna
well,
is might
it's
actually
gonna be a
affect them.
Portland State player this week. There's a Portland State bias when
That's
it
a good
comes to Player
that,
of the Week.
that's a good point. I guess it's been Portland for basketball, but I I hate that I like agree with this. Like I agree with your take here because what has Sac State done this season to like really push the needle for the Big Sky to be like any sort of reasonable to them. And like I would feel so bad if Prophet Johnson doesn't win it this week because he played his ass off. But like Davion Brown, like yeah, I that is a scary thought in my brain. Like oh my god,
And they
they're
might
gonna
like if Taco Dowler came out at halftime of the game and was on the court, they could give it to him too.
you know what? I'll keep my peace. I will not say my piece about that.
Let's
Of all
move
the
on to
different
pick.
stories, folks, we're impartial when it comes to the basketball teams, regardless of what school we went to or where we're from. But football's a different story. We
Okay.
have different things in football.
Um, moving on. It's time for a pick 'em of the week. We'll start in reverse order.
Okay,
Port.
yeah,
We have all the same but one, but it's gonna be a fun one.
yeah,
Portland State at Eastern Washington. It's a Thursday. If it was Saturday, I might like my dogs and Sheeny, but
yeah.
it's the Thursday game. Portland State continues to not play very good teams on paper. Great teams. They haven't played a lot of the other good teams in the Big Sky yet. They haven't played the Montana schools yet. They haven't played They did play Weber, so I'll give them credit for that. But they
Yeah,
got some
that'll
big
be.
games, but I think Portland State should be able to win that one.
Yeah, I agree. Even if it's close, they'll probably win it. I don't be surprised if Eastern plays them close. I
Yeah,
feel like they kind of like to do that.
Eastern's been
So
playing some good basketball games recently. Their
yeah.
second year head coach, they're rallying. My guy Andrew Cook still, I think he might injury redshirt this year and play next year. He was the league's top returning scorer, so that's tough for them. But
Mhm.
maybe, and I know Isaiah Moses is a NAI guy. He might get another year too. So keep an eye on that.
Mhm.
Sacramento State at Idaho. Can we get a press release on if Mikey Williams is playing or not? Because that might change my pick. Idaho didn't.
It,
I watched him play Idaho State game. Did not look good in the second half of that game, but they're cursed in Pocatello, so I should have known that was coming. Sac State has been good. I think Idaho's gonna win this game though.
yeah, I agree. I don't like betting against Idaho when they play at home. They have a pretty decent home environment, and yeah, it's tough to play in Moscow. It's really tough to play there. I don't think people realize like Montana State. These guys lose games there all the time. Like, and when they're battling for the 1-2, it's yeah. I like Idaho. I think Sac State has a super uphill battle, even if Mike Williams comes back. So
All right, Idaho State, our guy Guerra and the boys. They just got the floor mopped with them, but they had that big rivalry win. Montana State also had a big rivalry win. Bengals traveled to Bozeman. We also both like Montana State to win at home. Seems like you don't want to pick against Montana State at home right now. They're playing pretty good, especially at home.
yeah, the brick is
It's
that's an
rocking.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
It's the
students are
brick is
back. The
wrong.
students are back.
I've only ever been to one game in Brick Breeden Fieldhouse, and you would think with the kind of space it occupies, it wouldn't be as rocking as it is, but it's pretty intense in there. So I
It's a
like
great venue for like basketball tournaments and stuff. It's not a true basketball gym.
yeah,
It's best for rodeo actually, but it's a great.
yeah.
It is a fun environment, and like I don't know if maybe they'll hopefully they'll do like a free like beer hat giveaway or something, a trucker hat giveaway, and they get some students in there, and it's a fun environment. I might have to tune
Mhm,
into that one. Oh, actually, I will have to tune into that one on my phone because my buddy
mhm.
Nico actually produces those games out for Montana State. I know Nico's probably not listening to the pod, but my guy Nico is the director for a lot of he does the video board for in house there, and the PBS ESPN Plus stream he does at Montana State. So he's pressing buttons. Finally,
Well,
though, game of the week only because me and Max are going this week, folks. Weber
yes.
State comes to Dahlberg Arena, a tenacious Weber State team. Get to see our guys Sane in person. A Montana team that needs a win. They need a win. And I think Travis DeKeer has them doing lines in practice. I think anyone not named Mikey Williams has taken a lot of shots this week. And I think Montana might not be favored in this game. I might be like a pick 'em line, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna pick 'em, and that's gonna help juice my parlay, and the Grizz are gonna win. But Max, you think a little something different?
And it's up with Montana boys, down with the foe. Good old Grizzlies out for the victory. I'm picking the Wildcats.
All right.
I'm on the Weber State hype train. I think this is the team I'm most excited about watching. Like I've watched games and bits and pieces of games. I like Weber State. I like what they bring. I Dijon Sain's gonna do what he does. A I think this is gonna be a big win for Weber State. I think this is gonna really be like a statement conference victory for them. Really push them over the edge. Um, I'm just I want to be more of a fan of Montana right now, but it's really tough when you're like I said last pod, like the depth is not super there. I watched how they played against Montana State, and I think maybe the gap between Montana and Montana State is further than the gap between Weber State and Montana State. I think those teams are a little bit closer in terms of what they bring against each other. So I like WSU a lot. I think this is going to suck as a loss for Montana, but I'm going to go with Weber State because they're they look good. They should probably win this one. Honestly, I actually feel more confident about this. Um, I honestly feel more confident about this than maybe I should, but I like them a lot on the road here.
Can you do it on a cold Thursday night in Albert? That's what I always say. Also,
I
our
mean,
boy Scooby is making his weekly appearance on the podcast. If you're
Scooby,
listening at home and it sounded like a pit bull was licking his ball sack very loud behind me, that's exactly what it was. So, thanks for joining, pal.
this is what the people don't pay for.
Yeah, no. All right. Well, yeah. We'll have coverage of that that Weaver Montana game. We'll have to get some tickets. We'll be out there. We'll be out there. I might have to straight line bet the Grizz too, just kind of double it up. Okay. Last week we didn't get to all the upcoming games, and we kind of glazed over the Brawl, the Wild coming up. I think in basketball, you get hyped. They play twice. They play twice. Um, you know. Okay, but this week we will talk about all the upcoming games. With that being
Mhm.
said, Montana, before they play Weber State, they go down to Flagstaff in the Sky Dome. Talk about a game you should probably win if you're the Grizzlies. And on
Mhm.
that same Monday, Northern Colorado hosts in Greeley the Cats. Something to
Mhm.
keep an eye on with travel and stuff. I know the Cats get to host Idaho State after that, so maybe Idaho State could make things fun in Bozeman. A couple days later, arrested Idaho State team.
Mhm.
We'll see how that game in Greeley goes. It could be fun. Northern Colorado still needs to figure something out. They're looking for answers too. Okay,
Yeah.
we just went over the Thursday games. Sunday, Idaho State flips the divide, and they head over to the Grizzlies. That could be another good game.
Mhm.
Portland State at Idaho. Now that's going to be also good game territory right there. They're going to get
Yeah.
tested. Sac plays at Easton. We were making fun of both those teams in that game, but that's going to be a fun game, I think. Um, who's playing who, and whoever wins that game, that's kind of like a pick-me-up win, and you don't want to play the Eags and Cheney on a Saturday. All right? So
No.
look out, Sac State.
No.
Northern Colorado at NAU, so both those teams are kind of looking for a win, right? That could be another pick-me-up win too. And then another
Yeah.
fun game, Weber after the game goes and plays Montana State. Another fun one to keep an eye on. All
Yeah.
right.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, anything you're excited for in the games that we're not picking or going to?
I'm gonna reserve my predictions for Weber MSU, but whoever wins that, I really think is gonna be like the second best team in the Big Sky come mid-season. Like the Weber MSU are really just playing for who gets behind Portland State. However, that Portland State Idaho game, that might that's one of the games of the week for me.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big one.
I think Idaho can match up decently against some of their guards. Like I think they have some fun matchups there. And like I said, like playing in Moscow is
Yeah,
hard. Playing in
I don't
Moscow
know
is
if Idaho quite has the bigs to compete with Portland State, but if they
no.
can play fast small ball,
Yes.
then we'll see.
That's exactly what I'm thinking is you have to play quick. You have to play way quicker because Minot's going to kill you all day. But I like it. I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't be the most surprising thing to see that. Uh, I do let NAU get their first win of the season against Northern
I mean,
Colorado. I
if Zach
actually,
Davidson comes back, I like their odds. I don't know what's been going on with them, but without
yeah,
him, I was watching that game against Sac State. They were competitive, but man, they're just not great at all.
no, yeah, I agree. It's tough. It's tough for me to imagine them winning a game right now. But I don't think they're going to go winless. I just don't know when that win's going to come, and I don't know if it's going to be this early.
Yeah, which is crazy though, because was it 2 years ago or last year when they were the preseason favorites after they went on that good run? Like Cat
Oh,
McLaughlin was super good.
that would have been 2 years ago when they
Yeah,
played Montana State in the in the title game. That was 20. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. Um, that would have
Yeah, well,
been.
because they
Oh,
played them, and then yeah, last year McLaughlin was the preseason player of the year.
yes.
So kind
Yep.
of
Yep. Yep.
crazy to see how they've kind of fallen from grace there a little bit.
How all because of an Oakland Fort 3 point
Oh man, who
other
is still
year.
Oakland Ford, who is still there once again.
Gosh, I can't believe that. Shout out Oakland Fort. We haven't said anything about Oakland Fort, but shout out. That was one of the
Yeah.
best sporting moments of my life watching that live. So
All right, are you ready for the guessing game of the week?
not particularly.
Well, this one is less fun than the Canes one, but it should be easier than the Biggest Sky one because it's more of just a keeping our other friends on the mid majors, keeping an eye on them. I'm gonna have you guess who's winning each mid major conference. You get one straightaway guess, and then I'll give you a hint, and hopefully
Okay.
you can get half of these. If there was a ranked team in the conference, I didn't count it as a mid major conference. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, and this is on their win loss record in conference play. And if
Okay.
it's tied, I'll give it to you. But I kind of deferred to the team better overall record. Okay, and we're gonna start with a great conference. Who is winning the American East Conference right now?
Who is winning the
Sunday,
American?
December 18th, January 18th.
See, this is gonna be tough again. I'm trying to think. Okay, American East.
Yeah,
We used to watch a lot of American East games in the Kaiman office.
yeah.
Well, unfortunately, not a lot of work got done in there. Just
No,
a
nope.
lot of mid-major basketball. I will say, yeah, my mid. Oh
This is
gosh,
that New England conference, right?
yeah, the new yes, the huh. Thing is gonna suck is making sure I remember what teams are in which conference too. So people are probably for our super like mid all around mid major heads. This is gonna be brutal
They're gonna be
again.
mad, but
They're gonna be pretty pissed because I can't even really think about who is all in the American East right now. Is it? Give me Butler.
okay. Butler, the Butler Bulldogs. Do you mean
Yeah.
Bryant? 'Cause
Oh
Butler's
yeah,
like,
sorry,
yeah,
Brian.
Butler's
Brian,
like,
sorry, Brian. I was reading an article about Butler earlier, so I have Butler on the brain. Bryant, sorry,
Bryant.
yeah. Give me
Okay,
Bryant.
Bryant is an American East team. They're not winning.
Yeah,
Okay, your hint
they're
is
not shit.
this is a team that usually wins the American East. It's winning it right now, and
Yeah.
it's the state my mom was born in. So there's your hint.
Oh, you told me. Oh, wait. Is it Vermont?
Yeah, the Catamounts
Oh, okay. Okay, okay. I'm actually so mad about that because they win it like every
every year.
year.
They win it every year, and then they get hosed in March Madness every year.
Yeah.
Those are my boys
Also,
in Vermont. I pick them in my
yeah,
bracket every year. Every year they lose.
yeah.
So
Also, sorry. It was
they're 3-0.
I was Bryant was the guess. I was reading. I'll shout him out. I was reading a reporter I really like on Twitter's. He covers Butler, but I had
Okay.
Butler on the brain. But I want to say Bryant. I probably should have guessed Bryant wasn't going to beat out Vermont.
No.
Not a chance. Not,
Okay, moving on. The American Conference, a good football conference. Mid-major basketball.
the American Conference. Hmm. Who do I say good? The
Like
a
the
good
American, like it's Group of Five
like
football conference.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
like the AAC.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Who? Oh gosh. You know what's really funny is I actually was doing a dynasty on college football with an American Athletic Conference team.
Who is that?
The oh, are they American? I'm actually is Delaware is it Delaware is in the American?
No,
Or am I thinking of the wrong one? I'm
they're in
thinking
the
of the
Sun
wrong one.
Belt, maybe.
No, they're not in the Sun. I know they're not in the Sun Belt. Who am I thinking?
A
What
Sun.
conference? What?
I don't know. Well,
Uh, anyways, American. This is okay. So I'm thinking of the wrong conference because I have like UTEP and Liberty in my brain, which is not those guys. It's not
no,
those
that's
guys.
not that conference. We're gonna get to that
That's not.
conference.
Okay, we'll get okay. Then so this is the
You're thinking
conference
of
with
Conference USA, not
that's the all
American.
the, see it's American and USA. That's why okay, conference heads. Don't do that. That's because I never remember. And then they have like okay, anyways. Then they have like the Patriot League.
Just wait.
Who even
We're getting to the
keep
Patriot. Hold your horses, buddy.
I'm so um but this is the conference with Army and Navy and stuff in it, which
The
is what I should
American?
have in the American, yeah.
No,
Right?
no.
What am I what am I thinking?
American is like the AAC, the Group of Five conference. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll give you a
Isn't that
hint
where they
by giving you two of the last teams. East Carolina and UTSA are both 0-5 in this conference.
am I not thinking of the right?
No. This is like a pretty good football conference.
Yeah, I thought I was thinking of okay,
Oh, he's
I'm not
looking
gonna
up the
look
conference.
I'm not looking up the standings. I'm looking up who's in it. Because I'm like what? Then who the hell am I thinking of? What conference am I in? Okay. Anyways,
The American Athletic Conference.
now that I see it, my guess is Tulane.
That feels like cheating, but it's not Tulane. This is
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm just looking at the names. I can't even remember the damn names of these conferences.
Okay, well, you might remember the Florida Atlantic Owls are a pretty good little mid-majors conference
I know
basketball
I
team.
don't want to guess FAU because that felt like such a cheap
No,
If I'm
they're
gonna look,
five
I
and
was like,
one. They're 5-1, 13-6
not
this
even with
year. Yeah.
Dustin Mays. Good for
All
them.
right, moving on. The Atlantic Sun Conference.
Oh, the ASUN.
Yeah, a lot of
God,
teams in the South in this conference.
yes.
The team winning is not from the South.
The team winning isn't even this. Okay, who is in the ASUN? I don't want to look these up.
Yeah, don't
Like
look it
look
up.
up. I'm not trying to look these up. I was just so mad when I was like I needed to see what I was thinking. Okay, ASUN. Is Western Carolina in the ASUN?
No,
They're in the SoCon, aren't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, this is so brutal. ASUN. Who the hell even plays in these conferences? Okay, I feel like I
Okay, this team
actually.
is in the South. I lied. It's like the team win is in the South. I just thought by the name it might not be in the South.
Okay. Is there like a state there's like a bunch of these schools are in, or is it pretty diverse?
There's a bunch of Florida schools.
This is okay. Bunch of Florida schools. Okay. Small for Florida schools. Because but the one that's winning is not in Florida, so this won't even help me. But if they're in the South, maybe.
This is the one team winning is a newer Division One team.
Oh, what's a new Division One team? West Georgia.
West Georgia is an ASUN team, but it
Okay,
is not.
they're.
I don't even have a good hint besides that. Queen's University is
Oh my
in the
god,
ASUN.
I would have never gotten that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's hard.
But okay, I knew West Georgia was in, and they are a new D1 team. But
Yeah.
sorry, West Georgia. I thought you guys
Yeah,
were going to be
they're
better.
they're holding their own. They're holding their own. They're 3-3, 9-9 overall. Really holding the line.
That's
Hey,
pretty. That's pretty okay. That's pretty okay. Are there any? What are
like Florida
Idaho
Gulf
State's
Coast
three?
is in this conference.
Oh, that's who I should have.
Yeah,
How I
and
should
Lips
have
comes
said.
in second place. They're always winning that conference too.
That's the team I was thinking of because I think we've watched some Lipscomb basketball in the
Yeah, I've
past.
definitely seen it. Okay. The Atlantic 10, you know the A10.
The A10, yeah.
There's a lot of teams in the A10, maybe more than 10.
That's that's like the that is true. How many teams are in the A10 actually? That's a good question. Are you
There's a
counting them
lot,
for me?
but the team winning, it is not one of the
Like
recent powers.
one of the recent powers. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Gosh, this is actually so embarrassing. Who is in the eight? Oh, is it Dayton?
No, they're third. They're third. That's a good
Okay, it
guess
was
though.
close.
Actually, wait, they're
Oh,
tied for first. Sorry. They
oh,
are.
that counts.
Yeah, that counts.
Let's
That's
go.
We've gotten one right. They're tied
Who
with
who are they?
they're 5-0.
Who are they tied with?
Well, George, there's two George. George Mason is 5-0 and 17
Oh,
and 1 this year.
George Mason. I forgot they were really. I'm actually pissed. I knew they were actually pretty good
And
too.
the St. Louis Billikens are also 5 and
Oh,
0 and 17 and 1.
that's the team that Avila kid,
Oh yeah, Robbie
the
Vila.
Indiana State guy, the like
Yeah,
baby Jokic
I like him.
center.
I like him. Okay, skipping some power conferences and the Big Sky. We know who's winning that. Who's winning
Okay.
the good old Big South Conference?
Oh God.
This is a
Who
team
is it?
that does win this conference. Like it feels like most times.
Big South.
Yeah,
Is is Samford in this conference?
no.
Or is that SoCon as well? Dude, they're all these like teams I'm thinking of are
So
probably in the
don't get the
SoCon.
SoCon and the Big South mixed up, buddy.
They're probably gonna, yeah, sorry,
Okay, their
Big
mascot
South.
is there's two teams tied. One is the Panthers and one is the Eagles.
Oh, one is the Panthers and one is the Eagles. See, the one Panther I can think of is Prairie View A&M, and they are not in the Big South. I know that for a fact because they're an HBCU and they play in the SWAC. Which, hey, I know my SWAC and MEAC schools pretty well, but
Okay,
I big,
we'll get to
big,
those.
yeah, I'm hoping. Oh my God, Big South. A different Panther. Oh, it's gonna piss me.
And
And then the
an
Eagle.
eagle.
Eagle. Who are some Eagles? Division One Eagles that are in Eastern Washington. Oh my God. I don't even think I have like a. Who's the worst team in this conference?
The Gardner Webb running Bulldogs are 2-18 this year.
Oh, Gardner Webb. Oh, that's a. They're good. They're a good FCS team
The
most
Big South
years.
is one that always starts their conference tournament early, so I'm always watching their conference tournament.
Oh, right. I feel like you and I were watching. Oh, is Tennessee Tech in the Big South?
No, that was a good guess.
Damn it,
Winthrop.
because they're.
Winthrop is winning the Big South.
Oh, who are they?
Northeast. And then High Point Panthers.
Oh, you know what? To be honest, I didn't know what High Point's mascot was either,
Okay.
so that wouldn't have.
Okay.
But Winthrop, I get that.
Moving on, a conference that plays a lot of Big Sky teams, the Big West.
Oh yeah. Oh, who is winning the Big West? Uh, hmm. This is actually tough because I actually know these teams, and
Yeah,
now I'm trying to
it's
like who.
the California Conference.
Yeah, the California Conference, and then Hawaii as well.
Hawaii's in this
On
conference.
there, but I don't think Hawaii is winning it off the. But they could be. I could be wrong. But like, don't look at me like because what if they?
How do you think the
I
Rainbow Warriors are looking this year?
uh, I'm gonna say UC Davis.
UC Davis is in third place. Good guess.
Damn it.
UC
Ah.
Irvine is 5-2 this year.
Oh.
Tied
The,
with the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors.
oh, good for
Yeah,
Hawaii.
13-4 Rainbow Warriors. They're pretty good this year.
I should have guessed UC Irvine because they actually usually they make the tournament often. So
Yeah, they are a conference, and the UC Santa Barbara, they're kind of conference teams. Okay,
yeah,
moving on. The Coastal Athletic Association.
the CAA.
Yeah, this is for southern team-ish teams, but on the coast, the southern coast.
I think I know one team
Okay.
off the top of my head. It's Charleston.
Charleston is in this conference, and they're in second
Okay.
place.
Damn it! Oh my God! I
The
had
team
one.
that's winning is mascots the Seahawks.
No way! Is it UNC
Yeah,
Wilmington?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know that because they played Montana a couple of years ago in like their Thanksgiving tournament. But
Yeah.
um, good for the old guy because they were. I think they were in
They're
it last year
17 and
too.
2 this year.
Good for them. Good
Yeah.
for them. That's
Okay.
insane.
Now the one that you've done your dynasty in, Conference USA.
Yeah. Okay. I know this is kind of a cop out answer because they win in football all the time, but I'm gonna go with Liberty because
It
I feel
is
like they're pretty good.
Liberty. They're 7-0
Okay,
this year. They're always pretty good at
Who,
basketball.
who's number two? Who's their second?
Number 2, Middle Tennessee State.
Oh, I would have never got if they were winning. I would have never gotten that. I was gonna guess
You don't
Liberty or
remember any
nothing.
March Madness moments from them? Denzel
Well, no,
Valentine.
I mean,
Met his
I
maker.
yeah, I remember they've had some fun moments, but I definitely was not. I would have never guessed them for.
When I was
I
little, I
forget
had a real good dynasty on Xbox 360 with Middle Tennessee State on NCAA football.
like it.
Um, the Horizon League. This one is like the MAC, like Maction, but like smaller schools. It's like all of those Midwest area schools.
Who
When they
is
win, they're like guaranteed to be a 16 seed.
um there? Who is in the Horizon League? A bunch of Midwest schools. Is this the? This is not my guess, but is Chicago State in the Horizon?
No, they're an independent, right?
It's right there. I thought. Oh, okay, they're independent for all sports. I don't know why I thought they were just independent for football. But
That's a good type of guess, though. I feel like they might have been in this one at one point in time.
yeah, um, Midwest schools. Is this the one that Detroit Mercy's in?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm. You know what? I can't really think of anybody else. I'm gonna go with Detroit Mercy, even though I know they were pretty fucking terrible, like pretty recently. But I'm
they're
gonna.
they're they're 5-4,
Oh, okay, not horrible. That's
8
good.
and 10 overall this year. Wright State was winning this one,
Oh, okay. That's
and
actually
the
okay.
Oakland Golden Grizzlies who beat UM this year,
I knew. Okay,
7-2. Yeah.
I didn't think you said the like. Oh, they're like usually like a 16 seed, and I was like, oh, then maybe Oakland's not in it because I know Oakland's actually had some pretty decent
Oh
seeding.
yeah, 'cause they had the Jack Golke year. That's on me. And they're not always a
No,
16 seed.
no, that's fine. That's fine. I just in my brain I was like, no, it can't be. Oakland's probably in a slightly better conference, but Oakland just outperformed the conference, so that's fine. That's good for them.
Okay, the Ivy League is in a like a 5-way tie because they've only
Oh,
played 3 games. But we're gonna guess who's the best team overall in the Ivy League this year.
you know, I've I feel like I've got to go with the former school of Florida. I don't want to call him a standout. He hasn't really been a standout this year, but Xavier Lee. I'm going to go with Princeton.
Princeton is 2-1 in conference this year,
Okay.
but 6-12 overall.
Oh,
The Yale Bulldogs are 13-3. They're always good, you know,
yeah, they're pretty good.
and also 2-1 conference. So it's Yale. Okay,
Yeah.
now the Metro Athletic Conference.
Metro Athletic
This
Conference.
is like northeastern schools, small schools,
Oh,
and the
is this
one
the
winning
one
it had a Cinderella recently.
that had a Cinderella
So in the last
recently?
like 5 years, they had a really notable Cinderella.
Oh, St. Peter's.
Yep,
Okay. Good for them. They're back. They kind of were like
they're 7-0.
not super.
Yeah.
They were not like super good after that because obviously, well, their coach had left, but still.
Okay. The MAC, the actual MAC, the Mid American Conference, the
Oh,
Maction MAC.
I know who this is because it's all over the Miami of Ohio Redhawks,
They're
man.
19-0.
They're one of how many? I don't know how many teams are still undefeated, but
I don't
they're
think there's
one of
many.
like
They might be one and
they're.
one.
Let me. I'm gonna look this. This is actually something I'm gonna look up. All
Okay. And
all undefeated college basketball.
while you're looking up, maybe start to think who might be winning the MEAC,
Who might be winning the?
the Mid
Oh
Eastern Athletic Conference.
God,
A lot of HBCUs in this conference.
the MEAC. Who? Um, There is okay. So when was this article published? January 17th. Okay, so this is pretty up to date. So one. Tell me how many off the top, or is it just gonna
Iowa
say
State
it?
was until this weekend. They lost twice.
No, and I remember that. That was pretty brutal. Uh, three. There's only three. There's only three undefeated teams. It's Arizona, Nebraska, and Miami of Ohio. Nebraska, who we talked crap
Yeah,
about. I'm getting
this is a
upset.
guaranteed loss. Nebraska
The,
has their first game this year.
guaranteed loss.
MEAC,
Miak.
yep. HBCU conference.
You know, they haven't really been that good when I've seen them play in the past, but I'm gonna go with my boys at Norfolk State.
They are third place.
Oh,
But
I've been getting like better.
Maryland Eastern Shore.
I I kind of
It's
forget
4-0.
they're even. I forget that they're in the MEAC. To be honest with you.
Okay, next the Missouri Valley.
Ooh.
Sorry, the dog's trying to eat my chow mein. 1 second.
That's insane. That's
All
insane.
right. Sorry for anyone who's still tuned into that.
That's
We're back.
crazy.
The Missouri Valley
Uh,
Conference. He's got a bowl of food and he's trying to eat my noodles.
where's the chow mein from?
It's green sickens me. It's on the
My
counter.
God. No, where do you get it from? From what
Vietnam
restaurant?
noodle. Vietnam noodle.
Oh, shout out. Shout Vietnam Noodle. If the owners of Vietnam Noodle, if you want to sponsor us,
Sponsorship. I'm ready. I'm
please.
right here.
Right. I'm gonna go with Northern Iowa as my guess.
They're 4-4, 12-7. Murray State.
Oh, okay.
John
John
Moran.
Moran's old squad.
Maybe he's gonna go back there. I think he's got some eligibility.
God.
Okay. The Mountain West. No, not the Mountain West. That they got ranked teams in there.
Yeah, I was gonna. I know who
The
I know who's
the
winning in
Northeast Conference.
the neck.
NEC.
Oh gosh. Who is in the neck actually? That's my question. Who is in the neck?
A lot of like really small northeastern schools. And Chicago State.
I know they were in a conference. It's just
They're 2-16, so don't guess them.
I wasn't gonna guess them. I just knew I knew they were independent for football, but not for this. Is this the one with Binghamton, or is Binghamton in a
Binghamton's
different
in
one?
the very first one, the America East.
Oh, I should have guessed Binghamton actually. That
Yeah,
would have
no,
been a
you shouldn't
better.
have.
Was it worse than Bryant than guessing Bryant?
Yeah, they're probably bad.
Is this one? Oh, is this one have? Okay, so actually, on that same note, is Central Connecticut in
Yeah,
this one, or are they in American East?
they're in
Okay,
this
I'm
one.
gonna guess Central Connecticut then.
That was a great guess. They're second place, but the Long Island
Oh,
Sharks.
LIU.
5-0.
Oh,
5-0.
I would have never guessed that. They're like them. Another
I've
recent
seen this
Division
guy on
One.
TikTok who would like make like a 5-person cheer section at Long Island. Fins
Good,
up.
good
Fins
for
up,
them.
baby.
I know. I work with a girl who went to school at one of their global campuses. Like,
Same thing. Pretty
yeah,
much. Yeah.
yeah. Basically, yeah. Well, apparently they have different mascots for all their global campuses. So that she wasn't even a shark. She was like a whatever other animal they were.
That's messed
So
up.
it kind of is BS.
Um, in the new movie they made with like Denzel Washington and A$AP Rocky, his son gets kidnapped while he's playing for Long Island University. I'm pretty sure. Go take a go. You should go watch it.
I God.
Ohio Valley by A$AP Rocky, might I add. Ohio Valley Conference. What are we
Oh,
thinking?
this is the one. This is not my guess, but I'm pretty sure Tennessee Tech is in this one,
Mm-hmm.
correct? Okay, I don't know why I guessed them
Don't
for
guess
it.
them. I'm just gonna.
I'm not, I will not.
Here's the hint.
Uh,
It's not them.
I know but here's the thing. I am gonna guess another Tennessee team
Okay.
because this is a team that's actually usually pretty decent in FCS football. I'm gonna go with UT Martin, the Skyhawks.
What a poll. UT Martin 15-4.
What? Are you serious? I thought they were gonna be. Actually,
7
not
and
that
1. 7-1 this year, folks.
good. Let's go, UT.
We see one. You get to see one go in.
Oh
Now we're
God.
talking a good basketball league. This one, talk about a league I've put a couple bets on. The Patriot
No,
League.
the Patriot League. Oh God,
And I don't
who's
think I
even
could have chosen a better team to be in winning the Patriot League.
there's a you put money on the Patriot League?
Oh, I've put some money on the Patriot League.
That's horrible. Um, who is in the Patriot League is the question.
Bunch of
Is
Patriots.
this a bunch of Patriots? That's
Oh yeah.
brilliant.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think about. It's always tough because like I
That's
can
a hint,
use
by
like
the way. The team winning is a
what?
pretty fitting team to be winning the Patriot League.
Oh, is it like it's like American University?
No, they're third. It's
So is it?
it's
Who
Navy
is it?
is winning.
Oh, okay, okay. I had the right idea. Just I was
Yeah,
more military.
American and Army and Navy both in that one. Okay, now the SoCon. I love to watch the SoCon championship. I don't know why. It starts early every year, and there's always some good teams. This is the one that Stanford is in, and West Carolina
Yeah.
are in. And they're not
Okay.
winning it though. Don't worry.
I'm not gonna guess them either because I know I have two schools in my brain. I have Mercer and Furman,
Okay.
and I'm gonna guess Furman because that's like the one SoCon team I always think of, and they're usually pretty
Remember when they
decent.
beat Virginia? Mercer is
Yeah, they're
third.
okay.
Furman is second.
Oh my God, who's first?
East Tennessee State.
That's so horrible. How is ETSU? Oh,
I
good
got
for
some,
ETSU.
I got some
Good
dogs
for,
out there in Eastern
but
Tennessee.
like, oh my God,
If you thought that was
that's.
bad, get ready for the Southland Conference.
Oh, I have a guess, but I'm gonna be pissed if it's not these guys.
Okay.
Is it McNeese State?
McNeese State is second place.
How are they? Who's winning this?
Stephen F. Austin, the Lumberjacks.
That's like I can't be super.
McNeese is good too because they're 14-4, but Stephen F. Austin 15-3.
I can't even be mad at that because SFA is actually pretty
Yeah,
good,
those are
but
two
like
pretty good mid-major teams. They're gonna, yeah.
McNeese State still has like the pieces from the Will Wade stuff. Like they're still like they still have like that kind
Yeah,
of
they got
identity.
Oricon is back on campus.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. If anyone who was following that more thoroughly than I was, but like, what the hell? Did he transfer with Will Wade
Yeah.
to NC State? That's so crazy to me. I actually almost bought one of his cards, one of the trading cards they were selling. I was like this close to buying it.
The SWAC conference, ever heard of it?
I know the SWAC, and I'm not going to guess Prairie View A&M. I won't guess them
Okay, don't
because
do that.
I'm gonna guess my boys at Florida A&M because I actually
Oh,
follow a who does a really. I have follow a reporter who covers them, and he does a really good job. So I'm gonna go with the Rattlers.
I'll give you credit for this one. They're tied for first.
Oh, who are they tied with?
Bethune-Cookman
Oh,
and
that is
Jackson
a
State.
that has a throwback to there was a former Grizzly
Yeah,
player,
Derek Carter
uh,
Hollinger.
Derek Carter Hollander, and he played for Bethune Cookman.
Yeah.
He transferred out over. I always thought DCH um was gonna be like really legit, but never really got. I think he's I don't know. I think there's missed potential with him, but that's my opinion.
Okay, you ready for the Summit League?
Oh, the Summit's a fun one.
It is a
I
fun
actually
league.
It's one of those ones that like you kind of if you watch Big Sky, you kind of inevitably
Yep.
follow because they have the Big Sky Summit like
Challenge.
showdown.
Yeah.
That like the challenge. That's always fun. And then like Dakota schools in a lot of ways to me feel fairly regional, even though they are Midwest and Montana isn't Midwest. We're more of a West, true West. But like, I feel like I end up following a lot of the Dakota schools anyways, just because we play each other in so many sports. And I do think it's going to be a Dakota school. And the question is, I don't know if it's South Dakota State or North Dakota State. If I want to guess, and I think because it's been a down year for South Dakota State football, and it's been about down year for North Dakota State football too. Actually, they had, they came into the FCS playoffs the de facto favorite and then lost to Illinois State. So, which went well for Illinois State, but I am gonna still go with North Dakota State. I think I'm pretty sure they're the. I can almost guarantee they're the best.
North Dakota State is 6-0 in conference play.
Okay, I got it.
16-5 this year. They're a pretty good team.
They're pretty. Don't be surprised if they make some noise in the tournament. They're pretty solid.
Remember when they played Duke that one year?
Oh well, that usually doesn't go well for anybody in the first round or later.
And they did beat Montana and Northern Arizona in that Big Sky Challenge.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, moving on. And that was in Fargo too, I think, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, we made it past the Summit League, the Fun Belt, the Sun Belt.
Yay! I like the Sun Belt a lot. Actually,
there's a lot of teams in the Sun Belt. You gotta be real good to make it out of the Sun Belt, and yeah.
Their football conference is split into 2 regions, so they're always. I'm gonna go with. Okay, so I actually have a funny anecdote for this guess. So the first ever March Madness bracket I ever filled out, I was maybe like 8 years old. I can't remember what year it was, but whatever year it was, Old Dominion was in the tournament. And Old Dominion, I had them winning the whole thing. Obviously, for people who follow basketball, no, that's probably not super good. But Old Dominion does have ties to Travis DeCure. For people who don't know, Travis DeCure was an assistant coach, I think, there for a couple years. I want to say
Kent Bazemore.
Kent Bazemore, yep. For our NBA folks, Kent Bazemore, NBA guy, Hawks, not legend, but Hawks player, played for the Hawks.
He was nice in 2K.
Yeah, much like a lot of, he had it was like I don't know who's like really good in the 2Ks right now, but that's like a role player. But I'm gonna guess Old Dominion. I'm probably gonna regret that, but I'm gonna say Old Dominion.
Old Dominion is 6-14 this year, so no.
They're terrible. Okay. That's great.
The Troy Trojans are currently winning 6-1.
Oh, hey! Shout out former Bronco DeMarcus Ware. There you go.
We're not doing the West Coast Conference because we know who's winning that.
Yeah.
And finally, the last one, the Western Athletic Conference. WAC.
The WAC.
Not a big conference. They've lost a lot of members.
Yeah, they have.
7 teams in the WAC.
And if I'm right, 2 of them are going to be leaving pretty soon too. So
that is correct.
To go to the Big Sky.
The dying WAC.
The dying WAC. That is such a sad story. The WAC. And then now it's not going to be the WAC. It's going to be the United Athletic Conference. They're going to just like combine all of the trash of other conferences into one especially trashy conference. Anyways, I can't really think of like all the teams in there off the top of my head, but I'm gonna go with Southern Utah. That's my guess.
They're 6-13 this year.
Fuck, they're so bad.
Prepping for their Big Sky re-debut. Utah Valley. Ever heard of it?
Oh my! I should have guessed them. I knew they were
this year.
Why did I? Sometimes I like say answers and then I like hear the right answer. I'm like, that's like it's like I only knew because who's in who. So how many Utah schools is it? Because it's Utah Tech, Southern Utah, Utah Valley. And that's probably it, right?
Yeah, and then UT Arlington is in the WAC for some reason, and so is Cal Baptist, and Tarleton State and Abilene Christian.
See yeah, that's pretty brutal. I probably should have guessed UT. Thing is, my second guess was Abilene. My second guess was Abilene Christian.
Abilene Christian is 10-9 this year, but 2-4 in conference play. So
Still would have been a better guess than Southern Utah. Holy crap.
all right,
That's
well,
horrible.
that's it for the conference guessing game, and I think that's about it for the podcast. We're going to a game this week, though. Stay tuned, everybody.